Hello, I have fixed all my computer problems and editing software snafus, so we are back with a review, this time of a game show? This was recommended by my brother.
Scorching heat, sub-zero cold, and hurricane force winds.
I see fire and I see rain.
Welcome to the chamber.
All the background information comes from a book called Desperate Networks by Bill Carter. In 2001, Fox hired a new director of entertainment named Gail Berman. She came straight from Broadway and was not ready for the dumb shit that Fox was ready to do, and definitely not ready for any of the ideas that Mark Burnell, the head show creator, had for her. First idea, Temptation Island. Great, greenlit, let's go watch people cheat on their partners. Next up was the standard dating show Love Cruise, The First Voyage. I did not watch this, but I did see the trailer about 400 times.
Love Cruise, The Maiden Voyage, premiering Tuesday, September 11th on Fox.
Next was Surprise Wedding, where women told their boyfriends they won a free makeover, but when the husband walked through the door, it was a stage of 1,500 people, and they were guilted into marrying their girlfriends.
It's the ultimate shotgun wedding when these women ambush their boyfriends at the altar in front of a live audience. Surprise!
She did not say yes to all his ideas when he suggested, hey, let's have someone parachute from space. She said, no one dies on my watch, Mike. It wouldn't be another decade till it happens. Before we can watch someone almost die on her watch, we must talk about another show called The Chair. The Chair was hosted by John McEnroe and was all about staying calm. Get it? Because McEnroe's famously not calm. Anyways, the gimmick was you couldn't answer questions if your heart rate was too high. The problem is, if your heart rate was too high, you lost money. So the entire show was sitting there watching these dinguses just squirm in their seat as McEnroe makes fun of them and their money disappears.
Don't forget, Elisa, it is $400 a second we're talking about here. You must get that heart back under control before you can answer the question.
Seriously, everyone just sits there and loses like a chunk.
Math is not that sexy.
That brings us to The Chamber. You see, Fox lost bidding on The Chair, so Mike rushed into production his legally distinct version of the same game show, where you hook someone up to a torture chamber, just make up a safety number, and ask them trivia questions as they're burnt alive. It immediately had problems. During testing, they couldn't get the person out of the chair or turn the fire off. This led our friend Gail to curl up in the corner, rock back and forth, and chant "Please Don't Die," and caused the original host, Padres play-by-play announcer Matt Bragerson, to quit. Now it's time to enter the chamber. But first, we must pick our contestant by playing a game of fucking categories, where one of the contestants just stands there and doesn't answer the questions. We're off to a great start.
Name the top 20 American corporations listed on the most recent Fortune 500 list. Time.
Our first contestant is Chuck, and we learn what the chamber is. There's heat, vibration, electrocution, oxygen level, and eventually spin. Yes, I said electrocution. We'll get to that with contestant 3. Right away there's a production problem. They can't decide whether to put the correct answer on the screen for the viewing audience. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's multiple choice, sometimes it's not, and the contestants have no idea what's going on.
Stop. Which came first, the CD player or the ATM? Lemon Lime, Citrus Cooler, and Riptide Rush are flavors of what sports drink?
Chuck does well for a while, until level 5, when his earpiece falls out and he can't hear the questions anymore. And not being able to see the question makes him miss a relatively easy acronym question.
By what more common name do we know the Italian car called Fabbrica Italiana Automobili Torino?
Repeat the question.
By what more common name do we know the Italian car called Fabbrica Italiana Automobili Torino?
Ferrari.
Incorrect.
Our first contestant, Chuck, had won on a pretty unfair baseball question, and our second contestant, Jennifer, wins on the Fortune 500 question, where her opponent just stands there like a lump. And wow, the show starts to get weird, because the question writer is obsessed with nudity.
Correct. Naked or not, Lady Godiva. Naked or not, Michelangelo's David. Naked or not, Statue of Liberty.
And apparently he's also trying to steal Jennifer's identity.
What is your mother's maiden name? What is the day, month, and year of your father's birthday? How many digits make up your social security number?
But don't worry, there's definitely a doctor looking out for her well-being. They're totally real.
Well, no, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling okay. We'll see how much more I can do.
We'll have to check with our doctors to see if we'll allow you to continue. But you want to go ahead?
Yes.
It's a thumbs up from the doctors. Here we go.
She loses when she doesn't know what granimals is. We move on to our third contestant, Christina, who wins on a equally unfair question of name women's beauty magazines. And this is when we learn that they are electrocuting the contestants.
120 degrees. How hot are you?
I'm pretty hot and they're zapping my back. And that hurts like hell.
Good luck.
Ow!
Chamber level 5 to commence in 10. Chamber level 5 to commence in 10 seconds.
Son of a bitch.
Christina's a beast. She answers these questions so quickly that they don't even have time to put the question on the screen for the audience, let alone decide whether to put the answer on there for us or not. Until the end. Her earpiece also falls out, and she answers the final question correctly 4 times. But because the first time she worded it weird, they decide to take it from her and not let her win the money.
In 1998, what American astronaut went into space at age 76?
I know this. Oh my God. Lynn something. Lynn Armstrong.
Incorrect.
Overall. So that's it. That's the chamber. There was 1, maybe 2 episodes, and then they just cut their losses and got rid of this turd of a show. The tonal change between how they pick the contestants, then how the question round works. There's no ramping in difficulty like on a normal quiz show. Sometimes we get to see the answers, sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's multiple choice, sometimes it's not. The 2 of the 3 contestants couldn't hear the freaking questions. The safety measures were a joke. There were no doctors on the side deciding if these people were safe. They just made up a number to put on the screen. At least in the chair they had the heart rate thing, but then in the chair they just took your money because people can't actually control their heart rate like they can on TV. I know you can. You're special. Great job. Enjoy your 50 beats a minute bullshit. Yeah, this sucked. It never should have been made. But it was rushed into production to beat the chair. Mike got all butthurt that he lost a bid on this idea for a show, so he made up his own. Don't need no background or anything like that because there's no actors in this other than the host. I already told you about him. He stinks in this, by the way. He's so lifeless. McEnroe's at least talking to the people. This guy just goes, "Are you okay?" "Yep." "Okay. I guess we're playing." And he doesn't even read the questions. Like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something. So he's completely useless. Maybe the original host would have been better. No way to know. I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. And, as always, I shall try to do better next time. Hey, here's a question for you. Answer in the comments.
Which of these companies is the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer? Nokia or Ericsson?
Ray from the future here. I lied earlier. I do remember something about Surprise Wedding. There was a guy who was on the show. He was on the Howard Stern show back in the day. And Howard asked him about Surprise Wedding. And he said, oh yeah, I told her I don't want to get married now. We'll do it when I get home. And I want to get married in front of my mom. And then broke up with her backstage, and they had to do the flight home, broken up, sitting next to each other. So, yeah, I just remembered that when I was editing. Bye.